Hello, my name is Noah Reed,
And my name is Genevieve Bernard.
and we will be presenting on the Black forgiveness expectation. Throughout history, there has been a societal expectation that Blacks should forgive their transgressors for the violent acts committed against them. And while this can be beneficial, when forgiving too quickly, this can sometimes place the emphasis on the act of forgiveness instead of the act of violence that was committed against them, making it harder to recover from the pain and the damage that was experienced by the individual. In another study that we conducted, we found that individuals were more likely to endorse forgiveness after reading a story about a Black individual who forgave their transgressors for the violent acts committed against them. And so for this study, we wanted to look at the predictors that were associated with this outcome.
In this study, we used a multiple regression design, and we took a sample from undergraduate students at Texas A&M that was predominantly white in race. Some of the predictors that we focused on in this study were patriotism and nationalism, racial privilege, institutional discrimination, and blatant racial issues. Some of the sample items from a couple of those predictors included one from patriotism and nationalism, being American is important to me, and another from racial privilege. White people in the US have certain advantages because of the color of their skin. On the graphs, some of the predictors are highlighted in pink. This shows that they are significant predictors of the outcomes that we have listed here: Black forgiveness, white forgiveness, and the tendency to forgive. It is also important to note that colorblindness was separated into 3 subscales: racial privilege, institutional discrimination, and blatant racial issues.
And so when examining these regression models, we can see that overall, patriotism, nationalism, and colorblindness significantly predicted the endorsement of both Black and white forgiveness. However, we can also see that with Black forgiveness, all 3 subscales of colorblindness significantly predicted this outcome. However, with white forgiveness, only 2 of those subscales predicted this outcome. And therefore, we can postulate that perhaps colorblindness may lead individuals to ignore some of the injustices that exist within our society, which may lead them to endorse forgiveness. And while this is not always a bad thing, the endorsement of forgiveness, as mentioned previously, can place the emphasis on the act of forgiveness instead of on the act of violence that was committed, inhibiting the progression towards reparative action and inhibiting our ability to prevent these violent acts from being committed further. With that, that concludes our presentation, and we would like to thank you for watching.